Alrighty, let's get this virtual tour started off here. So we start this tour at our home here at Pasadena City College. So the reason why I'm starting here is to give you an idea of where we're headed next. So we head along the 210, get to Burbank, take an airplane, and fly it all the way down to South America. Right off the coast of Ecuador, we get to the Galapagos Archipelago, made up of several islands. Now, let's get straight into our first stop here before the computer stops working. And we have these lava flows. Now, what's interesting about the Galapagos Islands is how they were formed by volcanic activity on the ocean by movements of the Mezca tectonic plates. I believe I remember that correctly. So, interestingly, this means that the westernmost islands are the newest. This, of course, being a rather new island, we can still see, we can still see the lava flows here along the ground. They look like dried up riverbeds, but they're actually flows of lava from when the island was originally formed. Now, if we follow up those lava flows, we see here's the crater, the volcano, where they came from, of course, Volcan La Cambre. Now, the reason why I'm highlighting this crater is because, like all the craters on the Galapagos Island, the northeastern side of the crater is taller. If you look very carefully at this angle, you can actually see that. The reason for this is actually the wind, which blows steadily in a northeasterly direction, blows the ash to that side of the island. This was actually noticed originally by Charles Darwin when he first came to the Galapagos Islands. Now, let's move on here to the third stop. Oh, and here is where it went. Okay, we are back again. Here we have the freshwater crater lake here of El Junco Lagoon. Now, this is of course on one of the older islands. We can tell because the vegetation is much thicker and looks much more eroded. Now, what's interesting about this lake is it's one of the few spots of freshwater, permanent freshwater, anywhere in the Galapagos. The reason for this is that they don't have any permanent underwater reservoirs, no springs and no rivers. All of their water comes in these lakes, which come solely from rain. This is, of course, very important to the environment of the islands. They are very dry, and only in the higher elevations do you get rain, or consistent moisture, I should say, and only in these lakes and these craters will you find permanent fresh water. This makes it very important for how the islands look and form, what their environment is like, and what the ecosystems are. So now we move on to our final stop here. And it's sort of right around here in the middle, and that is where we can get to see the change in vegetation. Like I mentioned, the Galapagos is very dry. It's almost deserty. This means that there are three main different life spheres on the islands. First off, they have here coastal vegetation, which is mainly mangrove trees and also salt-resistant plants. Second, they have desert plants. That's here in these rocky, dry areas of volcanic spree right around here. And then finally, they get bushy, more more high moisture requiring plants up here in the higher elevation where they actually get moisture from the clouds. All right, that's it for our virtual tour. Thank you very much.